I cannot remember every detail of the conversation, but I can paraphrase all the key parts. My sister had been upset because one of our friends, Lowell, was taking care of her toddler while my sister's kid kept trying to show her something. My sister noticed this and felt bad that her daughter just wanted to share things with people she thinks of as her family or aunts. We are just friends, but the kids call each other aunts, and each other's kids cousins. So, she wanted to build a stronger relationship between her kids and her close friends. She thought that us spending time with her kids away from our kids would be the way for us to show her kids better attention. This is especially important to her because she is an only child. Her parents are dead. Her husband is an only child, and his parents are dead. Her children have no biological family. She is worried about what will happen to them if she dies, etc. Her mom died when she was a teenager, and she feels anxious about her health. She doesn't feel that other people's kids need the same type of bond with her because our kids have biological aunts, uncles, and cousins. She thinks they should be able to go spend time with their biological family and assume that we were all sending our kids to our family and not paying a babysitter. She has no understanding of what it's actually like and romanticizes it. She was shocked to find that my siblings don't just drop their lives to babysit my kid. People who have siblings still pay babysitters and did for her parties. She feels that she paid for all the food and wine, and that alone should cover the expense of the babysitter even if we did pay for one. She knows that paying a sitter plus dinner would still cost more since she catered everything from a very expensive place, and we should have just been happy to get free food and drink. If playing some kids' game is the price for that, it's not a bad price. Essentially, she argued at first that if someone pays for everything, they can decide. And if we want a different type of gathering, we can foot the bill and throw that gathering. Now, how I handled this, that last note did eventually change to a more understanding perspective as I explained more and more about how even though she is technically right, she cannot maintain strong friendships with this mindset. You cannot provide meals for people with strings attached and deception involved. We didn't know until we got there, and she expected us to love it. She can do whatever she likes, but people can also end a friendship if they want to, so she is free to do it but not free from the consequences of it. I also was very clear to her that if her goal is to get stronger bonds for her kids, the way to do that is to love and bond with our kids and include them. That part seemed to be totally unexpected to her. I had to explain that people will be so upset by the fact that she isn't including their kids in kid events or isn't accepting that a parent needs to take care of their own kid first before focusing on hers that they won't even want to be part of her family because that isn't what a family is. My sister doesn't expect me to leave my kid behind and be only with my nephews. My sister would never tell me not to bring my daughter to a family event because she loves my daughter, and that makes me love her and my nephews even more. I had to explain all this. Lastly, she is rich and grew up rich. And as an only child, she admits that she struggles to see things from other perspectives or to consider other people's feelings. She has to make a conscious attempt to really see outside of her own wants and needs. She said she even talks about this in therapy, and that's why she goes out of her way to do nice things for us. I put some examples of her acts of kindness in the original post because that's her way of trying to actively be a generous and caring person. She did cry as expected, especially when she was talking about her kids not having any family and her mom and dad dying. I'm very glad I did not mention it at the parties like everyone suggested because I would have never wanted her to do that in front of people. It goes deep, and she needs therapy to continue working on it. Overall, she did come around to the realization that she needs to alter her way of thinking about it and do things differently if she wants to achieve what she claims. She continued to reiterate how much her kids love me and how much she loves my kid too. She said she wants to do things the right way. She just is frustrated because what makes sense to her doesn't make sense to other people, but she accepts that it's she who will need to fix her way of thinking. A lot of crying and some arguing, but overall, it does appear that we are still friends. We hugged, and she said she is going to do something nice for everyone and their kids. Thanks for some of the advice.